Good evening and welcome to Now You See Evening News. I'm Matthew Stramananoli.
And I'm Kathleen O'Brien.
Tonight we look into the ACT new court renovations and racing at Wakefield Park.
But first, a brain disease known as CTE is increasingly being found in athletes with a history of head trauma. Jacob Gizik reports from Canberra.
The lineman on an American football team can experience more than 20 hits to the head during a game. While helmet-to-helmet contact is part of the sport, some hits can carry as much force as a small car crash.
Pretty much what it generally happens if the hits is really good, you'll generally have like stardust sort of little fairy dust lights start appearing in front of your eyes, and it can last, anything from 5 to say 20 seconds.
These linemen represent the athletes most at risk of developing chronic trauma encephalopathy, commonly known as CTE. Depending on when the head hits first begin, and on the nature of the hits, a person can develop CTE whilst still in their early 20s.
Yeah, and it does affect absolutely people who are relatively young, so people are dying prematurely and having really unpleasant deaths.
While early symptoms of CTE are not dissimilar from a concussion, later symptoms can have a serious effect on a patient's life.
Symptoms that would make you think about CTE would be things like depression, so sort of low mood, tearfulness, and then sort of in the latter stages can move on to more kind of odd behaviours, so not just confusion but sort of full diagnosis of things like dementia.
Currently, CTE can only be diagnosed via post-mortem analysis. However, it's not just participants of contact sport that are at risk of CTE. Soccer players who header the ball effectively suffer hundreds of minor hits to the head in a season. Participants of sports like baseball and hockey are also at risk due to the hard nature of the ball and its potential to collide with a player's head. While there is an ever-present risk of concussion in sport, players say they cannot afford to think about it when playing.
It does worry me, but I try not to think about it on the field. If you think about something like that, then you're going to start playing differently.
You play within the means of the game and there's no illegal sort of hits and stuff like that. Generally the sport is a really, really good sport. There's no problem when it comes to that.
With the growing concerns surrounding the link between head knocks and CTE, doctors are urging everyone involved in sport to be more aware of concussion and its symptoms.
A lot of the kind of lower sport will have very minimal medical staff around, so it's making sure that people understand what concussion is, and if there is a suspicion of concussion, that those people are properly removed.
Jacob Gizik, Now You See News, Canberra.
The new ACT Law Court precinct is starting to take shape. The renovation is expected to speed up the Territory's justice system and clear the backlog of cases which has plagued it for years. Vincent Smith-Coppy has the details.
Years after it was constructed, the ACT Supreme Court is finally receiving a refurbishment. The two-stage process creates 8 new courtrooms, all of which will be better equipped than the current courts to administer justice in the 21st century.
They are being built as a modern day, up-to-date courtroom that has all the AV, the comms, the security, all built into it. And providing flexibility for future development for those services.
A construction project like this is full of challenges. Even the location of the building adds an extra level of difficulty.
We are bounded by the 2 buildings, Knowles Place on the northern side and Vernon Circle on the southern side. So we don't have any space. So everything that comes in that gets delivered has to be lifted straight off by the crane, or the cranes, lifted straight into the building. No storage, no putting to the side waiting for something else to happen.
The construction comes as a response to the ACT Supreme Court becoming congested over recent years.
We know that things have been delayed at times because the facilities haven't been good enough. The facilities haven't been there. So at the moment there's only 2 courtrooms that have jury capacity. One of the things that will be coming out of this significant development is a number of increased jury capacity courtrooms.
All additions to the court precinct have the same goal: to improve the administration of justice in the Territory.
One of the important things about justice is a timely access to justice. One of the old phrases in law is that justice delayed is justice denied, and part of addressing the issue of backlog has been important. There's been significant investment by the ACT government in a range of ways. That's why we appointed an additional Supreme Court judge a couple of years back. That's part of addressing it.
The construction of the law courts is historic, not just in what is being built, but also the nature of the project. The project is the ACT's first public-private partnership, or PPP.
Public-private partnership is where the government and the successful tenderer work together, and instead of it simply being a construction timeline, it's actually partnering or continuing the partnership, the contract, over a number of years through until the 2040s, and the cost of the construction is also wrapped up with the cost of the maintenance over those times, and it spreads the risk.
A PPP ensures that while a private company does the construction, the government maintains control of all aspects of the project.
We are daily in contact with the client on design issues, on compliance issues, ensuring that what we're building is basically in their view of what they expected.
Trials are set to commence in the new courtrooms from April next year, with the entire project expected to be completed by October 2018. This has been Vincent Smith-Copy for Now You See News.
One of the very few racetracks in New South Wales is looking to expand into driver training. Jordan Mulak reports from Wakefield Park in Goulburn.
This is what speed sounds and looks like. But for Canberrans, the pursuit of a decent motorsports complex takes them to Goulburn's Wakefield Park. Used for private track days, defensive driving courses and the like, the current facilities leave a lot to be desired. Set to be upgraded in the future, Circuit Manager Matt Baragwanath runs through what will have to be done before the circuit is expanded.
Our master plan which we're developing for the venue is going to be improvements such as hopefully resurfacing the track, a nice new pit facility with a corporate centre, some better bathroom facilities, a sealed area at the back of the pit for driver training, which is a key element for the venue as well. And once we have that master plan, we can cost it, and then that's why we know how much money we need. So,
Fifth Gear Motoring in Wakefield Park have recently reached an agreement to let the ACT-based company run their defensive driving courses at the Goulburn circuit. This benefits not only ACT, but New South Wales residents, like this defensive driving course, run for L-platers and P-platers.
Fifth Gear instructor Thomas McCready says the planned upgrades to Wakefield Park will greatly help business, expanding clientele beyond the majority Canberra share they service back home at the moment.
Our business is going to go through the roof. I'm going to end up travelling here a lot more, I think, in the future. I think once people start to hear that a racetrack is going to be a lot more in the defensive side of driver training, upskilling those learners and those P-platers and those drivers that want more, more knowledge and more skills. I think it's going to, if people know that they've upgraded their facility just for that, hopefully, we'll attract a lot more attention, and hopefully we'll even get a lot more Canberrans coming up here as well.
The introduction of defensive driving courses in Goulburn has also been beneficial to those who live locally and wouldn't normally travel to Canberra, such as Reece Fishinger.
It's definitely a lot easier. That way, easier to drive in here. Didn't have to travel to Canberra in order to do this, so just a few minutes drive. A lot easier.
With interest already growing before the track's upgrades, it's easy to see why the expansion will be good for Wakefield Park and its associated businesses. I'm Jordan Mulak for Now You See News.
In 2015, the Australian government announced that it was going to lift the tax rate for backpackers. 2 years on, the lengthy debate has had damaging effects on the farming industry. Elle Conway reports.
Australia has always been a popular destination for foreign backpackers who are looking to work as they travel.
My brother and my sister used to live here. They've always told me like it's so beautiful here, and I've just always wanted to come here because of the lifestyle.
In 2015, the Australian government proposed to lift the backpackers' tax rate from 19% to 32.5%.
That announcement was a big concern for us because our industry relies quite heavily on backpackers to come and work on farms.
Though this reform was defeated, it was hotly debated for 18 months and led to significant media coverage.
The reputation of Australia as being a place for backpackers to come and work has definitely been impacted. So the message got out there to all these backpackers trying to make their decision about what country they were going to come to. So we do have concerns that that is impacting on the number of backpackers that are choosing Australia as their destination now.
In the end, the tax rate was reduced to 15% on the 1st of January this year. But it will take some time for the good news to get through. In the meantime,
the price of fruit and vegetables in the supermarkets would go up.
But for some backpackers, the tax scare was not the biggest problem they've faced. In order to get their second-year visa, they must complete 88 days of regional farm work, and conditions can be tough.
The work was very difficult. When we were picking the strawberries, we weren't allowed to bend down. We had to crouch over. Even the hygiene on the farm, we would go straight from picking to eating our lunch and then packing. There'd be nowhere to wash our hands, which was quite horrible if you had a nut allergy.
Rob and Jess found work in rural Queensland. She was working on a farm with one other female backpacker and the farmer.
It was nice at the start. After 2 or 3 weeks we started to drink a lot more and be used to the animals. So we went to work one day and he was cutting trees so we could cut posts for the fencing. One tree didn't drop as he wanted it to. He got absolutely mad and he just whacked it in the face, in a jar, and it just got out of place and the dog actually went knockout.
Though confronted by challenging conditions, both Rob and Jess and Dervla say their farming experiences haven't ruined their time in Australia.
Now that the tax rate has been fixed, we have hope that if we can just get that message out there, then backpackers will start to look at Australia again as a destination.
Ellie Conway for Now UC.
And finally tonight, in the south coast town of Tomakin, New South Wales, a grassroots organisation, Rally for Recovery, is working hard to raise money for charity. Emily Castrichon reports.
So Rally for Recovery is an organisation based here in Tomakin, New South Wales. It's where people donate household items, which are then sold in the Rally warehouse, and all money raised goes to the Sydney Children's Hospital for Cancer Research.
This is John Ward, my late husband. He's the brain behind the Rally for Recovery shed, and I'm very proud of him, and I wish he was still here.
We sell goods, right? It's virtually a very well organised garage sale. Now, you don't sell goods unless they come into the organisation. And the people that I've got a lot of thanks for is those that donate. And they are donated goods.
You want some lemons? Do you want some parsley? You want this? You want that? Yes, please. We take anything you give us.
Cupboards, wardrobes, bookcases, beds. They donate and they know what money we get goes straight to charity, straight to the kids.
We ask for donations from within the whole region, and I would have people ring through and say, listen, I have furniture in my house, would you like to come and check it? Now, sometimes I might go out and look at the furniture, or I'll send 2 good guys out in the truck and they'd say, yes, we'll come and have a look at it and we'll pick it up. If we can sell it, we'll bring it in.
We've now got over 40 volunteers. We have now raised a little over $1.5 million since 2001. And we are definitely assured that none of that money is being used for anything else except for research into childhood cancer.
We're very much in need of financial assistance for a new vehicle or whatever to enhance the working capability of Rally for this future ventures on. And I think that with our, with good heart and good thought with these ideas, hopefully there's someone in the government sections there somewhere can look at this and say, well, this is the sort of a community-spirited thing that's happening here. We're helping wherever we can. Surely to God, there's got to be some money floating about somewhere that they can enhance to help charities like this one, which is all fully voluntary and can only be more beneficial rather than taking the money out of government purses.
And every time we go to Sydney, this is what fires us up. Those poor kids and their parents, they suffer too because Mums in hospital in Sydney with the child. The siblings, if they go to school, have to be taken at home, have to be taken care of at home by their families. So if you think that you need a reason why we're working so hard, I just gave it to you.
People get being what it is when there's a lot of sick kids. I was exactly the opposite. I saw too many smiles, too many good results to be other than enchanted by the way they've gone. How the results are just amazing.
We're now making more money than we've ever done before because we have so much support from everybody. And I'm hoping that we find a cure for cancer.
That's all we have time for tonight on Now You See Evening News.
We'll see you at the same time tomorrow night.